I love traveling. I've made it one of my priorities in life. Seeing new landscapes, different styles of architecture, tasting new food, hearing new languages, etc. And it's also a way to come out of myself, an idea I explained in a previous video. Basically, I see it as a way to step back from my little life and feel more a part of something bigger. Or at least that's what I tell myself when I'm planning future trips or looking back at old ones from years ago. But I've come to realize I don't really come out of myself at all when I travel. What helped me realize this was page 239 of A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. For the last few months, years even, I've been thinking a lot about staying present and grounded and coming out of myself. So I was really determined to put it into practice on my recent trip to Rome. Before going on this trip, I was worried I'd be too in my head during the trip, as I often am when traveling. I really wanted to focus on staying grounded, on being present and in the moment, to really soak everything in. I had a really great time overall on the trip, but I don't think I did a good job of being present. I was feeling guilty about not navigating, though I can blame my crappy phone for that. I was feeling insecure about not knowing anything about history, and I became obsessed with getting a new phone and how it would change my life and solve all my problems. As we were discovering this wonderful city, I was often stuck in my head, letting my ego run rampant, pondering shallow, insignificant problems only relevant to me in this time and place. Then I came home and continued reading A New Earth, which I've been working through for ages, and I came across page 239. Some people are only peripherally aware of the world that surrounds them, especially if their surroundings are familiar. The voice in the head absorbs the greater part of their attention. Some people feel more alive when they travel and visit unfamiliar places of foreign countries because, at those times, sense perception, experiencing, takes up more of their consciousness than thinking. They become more present. Others remain completely possessed by the voice even then. Their perceptions and experiences are distorted by instant judgments. They haven't really gone anywhere. Only their body is traveling, while they remain where they always have been, in their head. I'm sad to say that's me. Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. I certainly have had many moments where I am grounded and present when traveling, but I have so many memories of traveling and not enjoying myself because I'm worried about some stupid little thing that I can't or just don't do anything about in the moment. I'm incapable of letting go of those silly things and being present in that moment, in time, and more importantly in space, especially when I'm with other people. I know for a fact it's easier alone. Maybe it's only possible alone. And traveling alone is great and something I want to do more of, but I also want to be able to share these wonderful experiences with friends and not trap myself inside my own head. I don't really have a solution to this problem, but I think rereading this passage will help. That, along with the good old serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And it's funny, after I read that passage and this whole concept of staying present while traveling had come to fruition in my head, I was randomly reading Memories, Dreams, and Reflections by Jung over someone's shoulder, and some words immediately jumped out at me. I decided to read that chapter to find out if it was actually relevant to what I'd been thinking about. Now, full disclaimer, I just read part of this chapter out of context. I know nothing about Jung, so I could be interpreting this totally wrong. But from what I've gathered from this extract I read, Jung was quite successful at coming out of himself. He talks about his travels in North Africa, how he quietly observed a totally new culture, taking in the views, smelling the unusual smells, listening to different people, noticing their different gestures, etc. Not only is he successful at being present and taking in all that he sees around him, he also considers how the land where he stands has changed over time, separating himself even from the moment in time he's in. And perhaps most relevant, he tries to observe and separate himself from his label of white European man. maybe I'm going a little bit off topic there. And again, I could be way off with Jung. But I'm such a sucker for those moments when things connect and you see all the pieces of the puzzle coming together, you know? But back to the point of this video. I want to work on this when I travel. I know I can do it because I do it, just not all the time. I want to be able to shed my young, white, female, European, 21st century skin and be totally present and open in this new space. Forget my problems and preconceptions and be fully there in that place that I have this incredible chance to see.